And we're live. What's up, Haley? How are you?
Hi.
Happy holidays, happy Christmas, happy not New Year yet, right?
Getting there. I mean, it's going to be here in a blink of an eye with how fast time is going. I mean, might as well already start planning for the new year, right?
That's right. It's already December 11th, and we are here to do your mastermind and your weekly wrap-up Ticor title talk. I know you can't see it very well, but happy December and holidays to you. We are going to go over, like you said, never too early to start setting goals and how it ties in the title. And I think we have a prop, right? It's like, what do we got?
Ready? Should I open it? Should I open it?
Yeah. Okay.
I guess I'm asking as I'm opening it. Do I do
First
it?
of the season.
Woo! So, we at Ticor want to help you guys start, planning out your 2021. We always say, how do you know where you're going to go if you don't have a plan? So, Ryan, you always make the analogy. I mean, we can get in a car and figure out our way to New York. I'm sure we'd be able to get there. Keep going east, we'll get there.
It's just going to go.
But it would be a lot easier, a lot more sufficient, probably a lot more productive, efficient if we had a plan.
That's right. You get a roadmap, right? So this is your roadmap. Here's the good news. There are dates in here for next month of next year in 2021, which means 2020 is going to be over soon. So
I think in less than 30 days, actually 2020 is going to be over. So bye! Okay.
So that's what it has to do with title. We have planners, we have calendars, we have all that. But we have 5 things to go over when doing your goal planning. And the first one is highest and best use.
You got to use the acronym.
Oh, go. What are we talking about?
H-butt.
H-butt.
Not Haley's butt.
Okay, so HBUT.
HBUT.
Highest and best use of time. So what does that mean for us? That means reading prelims to investors or sellers or listing agents or our customers, telling them what item 7 on the prelim actually means, how to overcome a federal tax lien, or
what liens are, what Belarus's are on your tax. I mean, that's a huge thing, especially with all the buyers out there right now. They want to know what their HOA, what their Belarus is going to be, because that could, potentially be the deal.
Or we just did a supplemental taxes class. I can't tell you how many people asked for the cheat sheet and the little chart. We had a cool chart in there that we sent out hundreds of. And so that's the highest best use of our time. Another one was, revenue generating activities. That was an idea that we wanted to get across to you, is what's making you money. It's a green item. You can color code your activities, green, red, whatever suits your eye.
Yeah.
But you want to spend as much time in the green zone as possible to get efficiency in there and make sure you're in your highest best use of time.
Well, I think there's a really good way to do that, like you said, kind of put them in the stoplight traffic order, right? So, we always talk about real estate. We can make a lot of money. We can do this, especially in every aspect of our industry. But what items are we doing to make that highest best use of our time? Where are we going to put our efforts to make that $300 an hour work really pay off for us? Are we going to be sitting there answering contract emails, doing that kind of stuff, or prospecting, making sure we're reaching out to agents, trying to percolate new business every day?
All the time.
So it's kind of, what are you doing that is your highest best use of your time to be like, yes, this is the $300 an hour work. This is what I'm supposed to be doing, and this is where I shine the brightest. So,
that's right.
And reach out to us if you need tips on how we've helped people grow teams. So if you need to kind of come up with what your greens are, what your reds and yellows are, if you're lost, let us know. We can help you kind of build up those.
Yeah, it's as easy as, doing the things you don't want to do and getting somebody else on your team to give those to, and maybe they love those things. That's where they live. They want nothing more than a spreadsheet or to answer emails. And then we want nothing more to talk to people and get out. And so that's how our team works. We'd love to go over that with you. We have checklists. We have job descriptions. We've helped people hire, fire, you name it. So that's number 1. Highest and best use of time. Really, that was a great first step. What's number 2?
So number 2 is kind of, we're going to take the aspect right now. So we know we have highest, best use of our time. So what does that mean? Okay, let's refine or expand our outreach. Let's really sit down. What are we doing?
Who are we targeting?
What are we tracking? I mean, that is a huge thing. If you haven't tracked your numbers or haven't been tracking, try to implement that as a new goal for you in 2021. That way we can use what you've we've been doing, we can look back and kind of do an analysis on what's working, what hasn't worked. So that way we can either refine things that are working. I heard a great tip, SMS messaging. If you have not added that into something, that is going to be working. 90% of consumers right now only want to talk via text.
We do a lot on text, you guys know it, and I mean, a lot of successful people, it's a great follow-up tool. If nothing else, it's great for follow-up. I understand the first contact being a text is a little dicey, you know, and people sometimes aren't appreciative, but great tip, absolutely. Texting is more and more regular. It's the email of the 90s, as they say.
So yeah, I mean, step 2, really kind of refine or expand what you're already doing, because we know we're doing things that are working. We're getting leads. We heard the other day, what did one of our clients tell us? Well, I post on social media like once a month, and every time I post, I get a needle. And Ryan and I are both like, so what should you be
Why
doing
did you post more?
We need to post more. Like, that is something you should be implementing into your 2021 plan, like once a week. If that's all you do, post on Facebook and Instagram, do a video. So kind of
communicate. If you don't do and interject yourself into the conversation, then you don't have a say. You're allowing your consumer to allow the theater of the mind or their own dialogue to take over. You need to at least insert your dialogue so you have a say in the matter. Another note I had in refining and expanding is like we went from all agents to now listing agents with inventory, or community banks to loan officers that are doing refinances with these insane rates. So like we've taken a look at who our customer is and our avatar, and we've taken the time to reshape it and expand it to more of a fitting in this marketplace. So something for you to consider. Also,
sorry.
Go ahead. No.
No, do you have another bullet point on that one? Because I was going to say that leads us right into
number 3, which is?
So right into number 3 is break down your goals. I mean, we all have these huge, lofty goals of where we want to be financially, fit-wise, health-wise, you know, spiritually, where we want to be with our family. But those things don't just happen overnight. We don't just wake up and we're like, fit and have a 6-pack. I mean, Ryan might, I feel like he did, but you know, sometimes that just doesn't happen. People, you have to put your goals in bite-sized things of like, okay, just this week, just this day, just, you know, daily numbers are
hour
huge.
by hour. Look, I mean, however you achieve it. Does it have a goal setting?
This lovely planner that we're
just like Dana
White. This lovely planner has action items where you can even break it down to the half hour. So I know that we have clients that use this that highlight prospecting time in bulking out 2 hours a day. Like that is their prospecting time. They write it down in their calendar. So, you know, it's about taking it on a bite size.
Breaking them down.
Like on a plate.
I think it's Jim Collins talks about BHAGs, big, hairy, audacious goals. Okay, you gotta have those big, huge, chunky goals, but then break it down into what can I do today that helps me progress towards that massive glacier-like goal, right? So breaking them down is small bites. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Right?
Well, and I really like this one too, because we do it a lot on our team. You can assign numbers to it, so you can have numbers like, you know, we really don't want to make our calls. We really don't want to do our direct messaging. But if I know if I just hit 15 calls, if I did my 100 or 25 direct messages, whatever it may be, I know I checked those boxes, and I know that all those efforts will yield some kind of lead generation.
That's a great point.
Yeah, whether it be straight from that direct message, it may not come from that, but it could be from a direct message I sent 2-3 days ago, somebody responding, or follow up to a phone call that I left them a voicemail. It may not be that second right then and now, but it's all the lead generation that you're doing to make it come. So
yeah, I mean, like, so if you have the goal of making $100,000 a quarter or something, okay, great, that's awesome. It's a big chunky goal. Now back it down. What activities are going to generate that kind of revenue that's going to allow you to hit that goal? And then focus on the activities, right?
Right.
And so that's a great way of breaking it down. Like us, we do direct message. We have a certain amount of calls, a certain amount of face-to-face. We know if we do those things, then we're going to have a higher likelihood of hitting our goals. So bite-size your goals, have metrics that you track, and the numbers, I love the numbers. If I assign a number to the amount of calls I need to make that day, it takes the air out of the balloon, it takes my emotions out of it. I just have to hit a number. But if I don't assign a number, then it's like, well, do they like me? I haven't talked to them in a while. It's so awkward. But if I have a number, I just hit the number.
And two, the numbers are a great way to kind of implement your tracking. Because how are we going to know what we're doing or be able to track anything if we're not hitting our numbers? I mean, we always talk about it. What we're doing now is from our efforts 3 months, 6 months back.
For real,
you know, it's a great market we're in. There's a lot of instant business that's happening right now. But also, if you weren't doing the numbers and having that throughout this entire time, where's your next 10 deals going to come from?
If you don't know where you've been, how do you know where you're going?
Exactly.
And we wonder why we're driving to Manhattan and we end up in Vancouver. It's like, what happened? Like, you got no plan. So, okay, that brings us to step 4 in having goals and goal setting and having a plan. Believe in yourself, right? So this touches on mindset, and we are all about mindset. We train ourselves in mindset. We huddle every day on the work days as a team of 4 to cover mindset, to process, to dump what we need to dump, and to take what we need to take from each other as a work family. What are you doing to affect your mindset? What are you letting in here? Because what goes in here, what happens to it?
You think about it and it comes out and all of that stuff happens and it happens around you. Because, I mean, we're big on, we're not huge, I mean, we kind of are. We kind of are, but we're big on manifestation and really focusing on what your goals are and, you know, what you are saying to yourself, because what you do say to yourself comes out. Are you a confident person? Are you knowing that when you get on that phone with somebody, do you know that you can close that deal? Or are you a little, ooh, they're asking me all these questions. You got to go in there. You got to look at yourself and be like, I got this. So,
because how are you going to believe it if I don't believe it?
No. How can I sell anything if I'm not believing it?
How can I give it away if I don't have it myself? Right? Like you have to have self-love to be able to love. You have to have confidence in yourself and self-concept through the roof before you get anybody else to buy in. So you got to buy yourself before anybody else is going to buy into you.
And you know, reading this article that we're kind of taking these tips from, I saw something that I really liked that honestly I'd never heard before. I've never really had somebody say, write down what your limiting beliefs are. Write down the negative things that you were saying to yourself. When you hear that pop in your head, write it down. But also on the same side, so it's like a pro and con list. Have a list of things that you're like, I kick ass in this. I got this. I'm confident in this. I can do this well. I'm this person. So have that both in list and take that list of everything that you wrote down negative and shred it, throw it, crumble it up, burn it, do whatever you need to do, and just have the list of what you do good at. I read that, and I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the psychology between writing it down and then burning it or ripping it up and like kind of just getting rid of it. But you know, you can actually see it because we do have to recognize we're all flawed human. We're all humans.
We all struggle.
All flawed.
Nobody's perfect.
No.
Yet.
So, so we are all flawed. So it's important to, you know, you do have to recognize sometimes we're all selfish human beings at times. We wake up in the morning and what's our first thought? It's, I need water. I need to go to the bathroom. I need to do this.
It's like Ozzy.
So, you know, it is important to kind of recognize, like, oh, okay, I do slip a little bit here. I do have that. But once you get that out on paper, get rid of it and focus on, this is what I'm good at. And those kind of things will be in the back of your mind and just work on fixing them. All you can do is work on bettering yourself.
And what happens is those limiting beliefs, they intertwine and become woven into the fabric of who you are in your self-talk. So, I mean, I tell the girls all the time, listen, when you're struggling, when you're having a moment, I tell myself this. I stop and I listen to what I'm telling myself. And I say, would that be in the opposing stands or would that be on the home stands if you were on the football field? Like, so are you cheering yourself on or are you cheering against yourself? And I cheer against myself far too often, you guys. So I have to stop, drop and roll, as they say. I have to stop and check my head, man. I think it was a Beastie Boys album. Check your head. Where are you at up here? What's this voice telling you? Because it's just thoughts. Thoughts are not facts. Thoughts are just thoughts. So let them float through if they're negative. You're a badass. You got to tell yourself you're a badass. It starts with you. Get inside your head and listen to the dialogue in there. Is it helpful? Is it fertile ground for positivity? If not, look and examine what you're letting in, because it's gonna take root and it's gonna blossom, whether it's negative or positive. So that
was our woo-woo for the
mindset moment.
Woo we had to sprinkle in there.
Which is our favorite topic, by the way. So if you need more mindset mojo, bring it. So what's number 5?
So number 5, you know, I think it's really important, especially during this time. People are really feeling isolated. You know, we're at home so much more. Businesses are being shut down. We just hear a lot of negative stuff going on around the world. Find yourself an accountability partner. Find somebody who's gonna, like, you know, kind of shake you off. Be like, hey, you got this. You know, we have an awesome team here. So I suggest finding someone who you can call, and, you know, you don't want to make your 20 calls today and you're like, hey, I did 15, that's the best I can do. Have somebody be like, come on, you got another 5 in you, you can make those calls. Like, we have that on our team. We definitely suggest, you know, having that kind of bond with somebody to be able to help push you guys. I mean, if you're sitting there by yourself and you don't want to make those calls, those don't wannas are easily going to turn into the ain't gonnas. And those ain't gonnas are easily going to turn up to you're going to be on the beach or you're going to be somewhere else.
Whatever.
I mean, I don't know if those are open at the moment,
well,
but
the mini bar.
you know, the bar at home. So it's important to find somebody who's going to be like, hey, what you doing?
Well, a couple of things. Have them be available. There's no ability like availability. Your accountability partner's got to be there. Whether they're at the gym and they're helping you get one more rep on the bench press, I mean, they got to be there. They got to be accessible. The other thing is they can't be a yes person. They got to be able to look you in the eye and say, dude, you're tripping. You got this. Like, and tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Because I want to hear all the accolades, all the good, but I need to hear that I got 10 more calls in the tank, or that I can get through this next 5 minutes, or whatever the case is. I want people surrounding me that are like nastily authentic and real with me. Bring the truth. I need the truth.
Well, I mean, we only hear it in like every book. You are the 5 people you surround yourself with.
That's right.
So I think that is very important, especially in a work aspect, of what we're in right now. We're all sole entrepreneurs, self-driven people, and a lot of us are alone. We're working from home, or we have our families, but still, you know, we used to have the office to go to, or we used to have somewhere where we could kind of break it up and know, like, okay, I'm in workflow, this is my zone. But if you're not having that right now and you're kind of finding yourself like stuck in a rut, I mean, we are perfectly honest with each other. We find ourselves like this more than often right now, saying like, dude, I just can't get out of this. Like, I don't know why my mindset.
Funk. I'm hurt. I'm depressed. We talk about it.
And I'll have Ryan be like, go outside. Go step away from your computer. Get outside. Put your phone down. He goes on a run. Like, we have ways of letting this out, but then we know, like, okay, we get back into it, and we're like, all right, let's finish up the day strong. So you need to find somebody, like you said, who's available, who's got your back, and isn't just the yes person of like, it's okay.
Yeah, you'll get him next time, buddy.
It's okay. No.
It's not good enough.
Why didn't you get him this time?
Like, what's wrong with you? Who are you? I don't even know you anymore. But the other important thing in this environment, you guys, is have your tribe and talk to them. Reach out to them. We are pack animals, and we have been stripped of what we need in socialization. Whether it's a nod to the guy at the coffee cart, or the secretary, or all the little things at the grocery store, all the little interactions we're used to having, we don't have those. So now we're isolated, we're all locked up in here and on our devices, which are deteriorating our brains. And so talk to people, call your people, start with your mom, start with your family, talk to your team, talk to your friends. And you know what, the more people I talk to, the more normal I feel in a day. But the more I don't, the more isolated and alienated I feel. And it just speaks to mindset. So talk to folks, man. Find your tribe and talk to them.
Right. I mean, I couldn't say that anymore. Don't have anything to add on that.
Okay. So, hey, that's how we are tackling our goal setting in 2021. Bring on 2021. We can't wait for a better day here in COVID world.
Right.
But it's going to be great. The market's robust. We are expecting high things, great things. And so let's give a little quick recap.
All right. Top 5 things right now.
Okay, number 1 is
highest and best use of your time. H-but. Number 2.
Okay, number 2. Go.
Refine and
expand.
So
outreach.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So either, you know, refine it, take a look at what you're doing. If you're scattered brain, let's really refine it. And let's expand things that are working. Let's keep working on them. Let's maybe add to them. SMS messaging, I'll drop that again. Might be something you want to add to your 2021 business plan.
Something
Number 3.
That's working for us Untitled, absolutely, is take that big old hairy audacious BHAG goal and break it down into bite-sized little activities. Focus on the activities and you'll get to the mountaintop.
Number 4, you have to believe in yourself. I think that should be like number 1.
I know, I saw
that
that one.
That is crucial. You have to believe, you know, every morning, who's there to, help with the kids or who's doing that? It falls on you. So you better be there to be strong and be that person. So it starts with you. You have to believe in yourself.
And it's like, it goes along the lines of like, courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is action in spite of fear.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with self-concept. You don't wake up and be like, yeah, I'm the best thing ever. It's like, I wake up and I feel vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
I feel anxious. I feel not enough. I feel not good enough to go approach the day. And then I get my mind right and I pull myself and have action in spite of that lack of self-concept. Does that make sense? So you don't wake up and we're all robust and like, I never have a bad day.
I woke up like this.
Yeah. It's like I start like puny little mental midget and then I get myself going and then I feel like I'm enough to tackle the day. So if you have a high self-concept, it doesn't mean you start every day that way. It means you get yourself there. It's a practice. It's an acquired skill. And skill, the good news is, can be learned and can be practiced. So learn and practice how to get your self-concept where it needs to be.
And that brings us to Cinco.
There's
5.
no goal planning would be complete without accountability. Because what gets measured gets done. And accountability partners help you measure where you're going, where you've been, and what you can change. Because if you can't look back and see all your activity, how can you course correct? Based on changes on the landscape, you can't course correct if you don't know where you've been. So track your activities, guys. It's critical.
It is. And, let us know. We have tools to help you. We have, I am huge on still having paper in front of me. I have like 3 different calendars and I have my phone calendar.
A big desk calendar.
Yeah, I have that at my home office right in front of me. I have my planner that has everything on it. I have another weekly list that's just like my weekly checklist that I have. And then I have my phone calendar.
Notebooks. I write down every name of everybody I talk to in a day. I mean, you got to do it. It's got to get tracked. So.
And once you start doing it too, that's the habit builds. You when I don't track my stuff or we're on the phone at the end of the day and I'm like, oh shoot, I still have 10 people to add to Line Desk. Why did I not do this as I was doing it? It becomes a habit as you start doing it. And now we're going on 3 years of tracking everything we do pretty much every day.
Yeah. So plan is key. You don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great. So start your plan today. We'll see you next week. And happy holiday season. Nice work.
Bye. Bye, guys. Happy holidays.
Bye-bye.